San Diego.
We welcome you to the south side of Chicago on this beautiful Mother's Day. It's the Padres and White Sox in Game 3 of a 3-game series. A lot of kids here on the field, a lot of moms in attendance. A lot of signing going on the field right now on this special day. We welcome you to Mother's Day from Chicago. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Don Orsillo along with Mark Sweeney. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, a big start last night. It started with a bang with Manuel Margot, and what a start he's had so far this year, and right now rolling right along.
Every start, he is maturing in the big leagues, and Manny Margot continues to be the spark at the top of the order, especially last night when you see the speed element came into play. 5 for 5 with stolen bases. That continues to grow, but also offensively, the aggressive approach, but also changing the game. He can do it athletically, but also defensively as well. But offensively, he's been very good so far.
Well, on the other side today for the White Sox, the Padres are going to have to deal with Jose Quintana. Some tough numbers, but when it's all said and done, this is one of the best pitchers in the game.
After they got rid of Chris Sale, the ace, he became the ace. Also, the trade rumors have swirled around with Jose Quintana. You wonder if that is too much for him to handle at this stage, but he has been very good of late because he's pitching inside. Watch that to be a factor today.
A special day. It's the rubber game of this 3-game series between the Padres and the White Sox. When we come back, we'll hear from some of the mother's sons on the Padres after this. It's Padres baseball, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. Visit us at sdhondadealers.com. By Petco, your complete pet store with all the services you need. And by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. We welcome you back to the south side of Chicago on this Mother's Day as we send it down to Bob Scanlon.
Well, thank you, Don, and a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and a special thank you to my mom and my wife, Elisa, for always being so supportive of my career here in this wonderful game. And most of these players on the field have had a mom that have taken them out to countless Little League practices and sat on some very cold fields watching their sons play. Here's a few thank yous from some of those players.
Happy Mother's Day, and I love you, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day from all of the Padres to all the moms out there who've raised so many great kids in the world. Happy Mother's Day to you all.
We'll be hearing more from them throughout the ball game as well. But it's going to be a day filled with pink numbers, pink socks, pink hats, pink wristbands, pink shoes, and pink baseball bats. Now, if you see a bat that is used in this ball game that's made by Louisville Slugger, and you want to make a contribution to the Susan G. Komen Stand Up to Cancer Fund, you can do that by going to MLB.com. Those bats will be up there for auction, and all that money will be going towards defeating cancer. The defeat of breast cancer is on the line, as is this series, which is on the line. It's the rubber match between the Padres and the White Sox. Jared Weaver going up against the left-hander Carlos Quintana. First pitch coming up here next on Fox Sports San Diego.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom, and all the mothers out there. Hope you have a wonderful day.
I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom back home and my wife back in San Diego.
Major League Baseball commemorates each Mother's Day with the Going to Bat Against Breast Cancer program, which was launched in 2006 to raise awareness and funds for research towards the fight against breast cancer. Well, we welcome you on a beautiful day to Chicago. How beautiful is it? It's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. Well, this will certainly work today. 62 degrees to get it started. It is cool, but it is nothing but blue skies above. Northeast at 10 miles per hour and clear, the forecast for the remainder of the day. So more of this sunshine, and there's plenty of it here at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Don Orsillo, Mark Sweeney, Bob Scanlon with you as the Padres look to win this series today. Have a chance to do that. We have Jared Weaver on the mound, matched up against Jose Quintana as we wrap up this three-game series. And of course, a lot of pink uniforms here, both sides, and the pink bats as well.
Well, I want to say happy Mother's Day to my mom as well. They were here this weekend, left this morning, but I got to see her flying back to Massachusetts. Also my wife in San Diego. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for making my life easier when it comes down to that.
I agree with you as well. And a happy Mother's Day to my mom, Marianne, and my wife, Kathy, as well. So I appreciate it. And this is a special day, and we are here. And there are a lot of moms in this ballpark today as well, spending it with their families. Alfonso Marquez is the home plate umpire today with Chad Fairchild at first base, David Brackley at second base, and Larry Vanover is the umpire at third and the crew chief for this four-man crew today. As the Padres and White Sox finish up this series, we had a huge crowd here last night for Game 2 of the series. Not sure it's going to be quite as large today, but a beautiful day nevertheless.
Gorgeous day, obviously, plenty to be thankful for, and yes, coming down to the rubber match for the Padres and getting on that flight back to San Diego. Pretty important game today.
An important game, too, for Jared Weaver after what has been kind of a tough start for him. Weaver coming in looking for his first win in a Padres uniform as the White Sox take the field, led by their starter, Jose Quintana. Let's check out the San Diego Padres starting nine, brought to you by Toyota. Manuel Margot leading it off at the top of the order in center field. Matt Caesar at second and left field with Will Myers at first base. Yangervis Solarte at second base with Austin Hedges, the DH. Hunter Renfroe moving up the lineup. He had been batting eighth the first two games. Where Spangenberg bats seventh. Luis Sardinez bats eighth, and Luis Torrens getting a start today, catching the day game after the night game with Hedges as the DH. Jose Quintana on the mound today for the Chicago White Sox.
Let's take a look at the scouting report. A lot of eyes on Jose Quintana every start, with a lot of trade rumors and the highest bidder trying to acquire Jose Quintana, but also has not been sharp, and you wonder if mentally that's the reason for it. It's been a tough year, tough start for him, and also run support when it comes down to Quintana. But watch today, he loves to pitch to his glove side, especially to the right-handed hitters.
Are you ready for the Garcia trio in the outfield? Let's check it out defensively for the White Sox behind Quintana. This is going to be fun today. Willie Garcia is in left field. Larry Garcia is in center field. And Aviciel Garcia is in right field. You follow all that?
I am.
All right. Todd Frazier at third. Tyler Saladino at short. Yomer Sanchez at second. Matt Davidson at first. And Omar Narvaez is doing the catching today. One error in the last 73 starts for Quintana. Very good fielding pitcher.
Well, you think about the Garcias, you're wondering if that is the Alou brothers that you typically would see late in the game, with all the Alou brothers that played all the outfield. No relation, but these Garcias are plentiful in this Sox lineup.
Manuel Margot hitting a home run on the first pitch of the ball game last night. In game one, Matt Caesar hit a home run on the first pitch of the ball game. Will we see another home run on the first pitch of the ball game here today?
You're probably going to see an off-speed pitch, and that's typical of when you are worried about what's going to be the result. Might be sitting breaking ball on that first pitch.
Margot's home run yesterday was his fourth home run of the year, and it was on the first pitch of the ball game. Sending it out to right field. Taking it the other way, which we have seen him do very well. A lot of power to all field.
Yeah, he has slashed the ball all over and been an impact at the top of the order for Andy Green.
So here we go. Jose Quintana ready to toe the rubber, and gets the sign from his battery mate Narvaez, and the first pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball one. And Margot not swinging.
Well, it wasn't the breaking ball, but it was an uncomfortable cutter, which you're going to see a lot of to that glove side.
Margot at 277. That run last night was his fourth. He's driven in 13 runs. Margot, Caesar, and Myers featured here right out of the gate today. We touched on it in the open. Jose Quintana, one of the game's best pitchers, right now 2-5 in the ERA, over 4, in fact almost 4.5. This is not a guy you expect to be doing poorly, as this one is lined into right field, and Margot is aboard to begin things here in the first inning. However, you got a situation where you've heard your name all offseason into the beginning of the season as a possible trade going somewhere else. Very difficult to operate under those conditions.
Yeah, a lot of players have to go through that, and you hear your name in trade rumors, but you sit there and you go through that scenario in your head. You know Chris Sale is gone already to Boston Red Sox, and that was the ace. You know what direction the club is going, trying to acquire younger talent. This is the name that everyone is trying to seek.
And are you pitching right now for someone else? I mean, are you thinking about where you may be going?
Well, it's always concentration when it comes down to it, but I think it is in the back of his mind.
And Caesar will take the strike. 8th start of the year for Quintana. We've seen Caesar in all 3 outfield positions since he has joined the Padres, and having success in all 3. Off to a good start here in San Diego. Now ball down third baseline, backhanded by Frazier. Goes to second for 1, and on to first. He's saying it was a foul ball.
Caesar's saying that it went off of him. So the pitch inside. Let's see if he hits it off that front foot.
He never ran thinking that it was a foul ball off the foot. I don't know. Tough to tell right there.
Tough to tell.
Andy Green out there disputing it, but as of right now, the call in the field is a double play. 5 to 4 to 3 on the twin killing. The way the Padres wanted to start things here today, that's for sure.
I gotta be honest, they were looking at Chad Fairchild, the first base umpire, who has to watch this, but very close. And I look for the reaction of the hitter. Obviously, he did not leave the batter's box.
That's a question as what is reviewable and non-reviewable. That is non-reviewable.
Anything in and out of the box,
right,
is not reviewable.
Batted ball hitting the runner. Non-reviewable. Now he can go out there and do what he did, which was what Andy Green did, come out and talk to home plate umpire Alfonso Marquez. Crew chief is Larry Vanover at third, but that is non-reviewable. As Myers fouls it off to the right out of play.
Now, Don, as we watch Quintana and how he works, we talked about the glove side, but also very efficient about throwing at the top of the strike zone. That four-seam fastball, he is very good at getting swings and misses at the top of the zone. I think the Padres have struggled with that as of late. Something to combat if you're the Padres offense.
1-2 to Myers. He fights it off foul to the right out of play. Well, this was kind of an amazing thing last night. Will Myers gets buzzed with a pitch up and in that very much gets his attention. Down he goes. The very next pitch from Canely was taken out of the yard and then some to deep left field. An emphatic response by Will Myers.
Think about Will Myers and what he did last night. When you get thrown at up top, it's not on purpose most times, but you lock in a little bit more. That attention to your adrenaline starts kicking in, and you can benefit from that. Obviously, Will Myers did last night.
Swing and a miss, and Myers strikes out on the breaking ball to end the first inning. White Sox are coming up from Chicago. Padres and White Sox head to the bottom of the first inning, and we check out the White Sox starting lineup today for Rick Renteria. Leury Garcia leading it off, and in center field for the White Sox, Yolmer Sanchez. At second base, Jose Abreu, the DH with Avisail Garcia. In right field, Todd Frazier moves up in the order to third base, as Matt Davidson at first base. Tyler Saladino starting his second straight game at shortstop, and Omar Narvaez as doing the catching today with Willie Garcia in left field batting ninth. On the mound for the Padres is Jared Weaver making his 8th start.
Well, as we talked about, it's an important start for Jared Weaver, and you know that he has not had a decision on the win column for the Padres. He said last time after his last start, he said, I have to be better. It's plain and simple. But off-speed curveballs and that command of that pitch has to be very important today.
Leury Garcia leading it off, a guy who hit 2 home runs here on Friday night. Has only 4 home runs on the year, came into that game with 2 and takes 2 out of the yard. And in a losing cause, Padres took game 1 of the series. Game 2 here last night, and today the rubber game of this 3-game series. There's a liner into right center field. That'll get in for a base hit. Garcia is on to start the bottom of the first inning for the White Sox. Well, defensively today for the Padres behind Jared Weaver. Defense brought to you by Lincoln. Matt Caesars in left with Manuel Margot in center. Hunter Renfroe around in right. Spangenberg at third base with Luis Sardinez at shortstop. Hervis Solarte at second. Will Myers at first, and Luis Torrens catches the day game after the night game for Jared Weaver. Torrens getting another start here today. Runner at first, nobody out. Yolmer Sanchez, the second baseman. The Padres a double play depth, and Garcia takes off on the first pitch. Torrens' throw will get away. Knocked down, but not too far away. A stolen base here for Garcia. Not waiting around. He jumps on that first pitch to take off.
Well, you see the jump, pretty good jump, and you can see the fastball down. Tough throw for Torrens. See, Sardinez does a pretty important thing. The ball ricochets off his glove, but he maintains that tag. It indicates to the runner to stay there.
Garcia at second base with nobody out. Pitch was a ball to Sanchez. Well, Jared Weaver over the years has enjoyed a great deal of success against this White Sox team, and hoping that that will help him today. 15 total starts, 12-2 with a 1.89 earned run average. Faced him twice last year, beat him twice last year as a member of the Angels.
And we always hear small sample size. Well, 100 innings. That tells a big story.
Bunt hit, drop down the third baseline. Spangenberg on the run, and it'll be late. Taking third is Garcia. Bunt single for Yolmer Sanchez.
Well, you see Corey Spangenberg, he has to read that quicker than that, in my opinion, because he has seen it in this series. Chicago White Sox are not going to try to bang the baseball. They're going to try to do the little things. Laying down the bunt for Sanchez and easily beating that out.
First and third, nobody out. Jose Abreu coming up. White Sox trying to get to Weaver early. Jose Abreu, the DH. 268 on the year coming in. Last couple years with over 30 home runs. So far 5 on the year. You get the feeling he is due to bust out here any day.
So much talent for Abreu. Inconsistency for the start of this season. But you're right, Don. He's got the power and also RBIs.
The rookie of the year for the White Sox. Throw over again, and diving back again is Sanchez. Five homers so far, 17 runs batted in, as he participates in his 34th game of the season for the White Sox. In all 3 games of the series, first time he's been the DH in this series. That's a strike.
When you think about it, Don, and there's a blend of veterans and also youth on this White Sox roster. Rick Renteria is known for being an aggressive manager, and he's going to do that with his young players.
He's done it here in the first. A stolen base, a bunt. And runners at first and third here with nobody out, trying to make things happen. Generate some offense. Sox trying to jump on top here in the first inning. Runner goes at first and hit with the pitch is Abreu. Not sure where it got him. It was up, no doubt.
Looks like a fastball that gets away from Weaver and off the left shoulder of Abreu. And if that runner taking off influenced that pitch.
Pushing the envelope there with another stolen base bid, but Abreu was hit by the pitch. Great jump by Sanchez over there at first base. Bases loaded, nobody out in the first inning. You got obviously Garcia coming up. 347, 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. Career .297 hitter in this spot. Never had a grand slam. This year 1 for 2. On the ground up the middle, the shortstop Sardinez flips to second for 1, on to first for 2. Run scores, but the Padres will take that exchange. A double play here in the infield, and the White Sox jump on top 1-0. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealer.
Well, we've alluded to the success that Weaver has had against the White Sox. Also 6-1 here in Chicago in 7 career starts. And play with a purpose today. It's Mother's Day, as we know. It's always good to play for a different purpose. And moms have to be on your mind today.
The White Sox not challenging. Obviously, Garcia hoped they would. He was standing at first base for a long time, but White Sox not challenging. Scores for the White Sox. Sanchez will take third base. Todd Frazier, the batter, and a ground ball to short. With it is Sardinez. The throw is in time, and the inning is over. White Sox strike first, take a 1-0 lead as we head to inning number 2.
And it focuses on last night, game winner by Yomer Sanchez. He hits a ground ball up the middle, and you can see Tyler Saladino around third, but also Manny Margot charges this very aggressively, throws a strike to the plate, And because of that wide turn, goes after the back part of the plate, and it's a tough tag for Austin Hedges, and that's the game winner for the White Sox. A walk-off win in the second game of the series.
Well, the White Sox have jumped on top here today, 1-0. Into the second inning we go. And Yangervis Solarte lead it off. Padres second baseman. Then we'll see Austin Hedges and Hunter Renfroe. Jose Quintana has a run to work with here out of the gate. Yangervis 243 coming in, 3 homers, and 20 runs batted in. Solarte 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 7 in the series.
Don, typically you don't focus on the umpires and when things go wrong, but Alfonso Marquez has an offensive strike zone, and he makes them get on the plate. It's going to be interesting today if he calls that inside corner to right-handed hitters. Quintana early in this game has not received the calls on that pitch. That's a good sign for the Padres. Make him get him on the plate. That backdoor curveball has been called most times.
Falling behind here, 3-1. And he comes back to make it full here, 3-2.
Always wanted as a hitter, especially with nobody on your first at bat, to gain information. As for later on in the game, because you know Quintana is going to pitch deeper in the ball game most times.
In the air to center field, Garcia has room, and the center fielder makes the catch. With the first down here of the second inning. Ball will carry here during the day, there's no doubt about that, but ball did not carry as much as Solarte would have liked to left center, and that's out number 1 of the inning. Stuff to right here, flies out of here.
Flies out. And it flew out early in the game last night. Manny Margot, also Alan Cordova had a home run.
That is filled in here pretty much all the way around, but you look out to the flags and they are brisk from left to right and down the right field line. Avisail Garcia heads over into foul ground, and Garcia is able to make the catch. Nicely done. Sliding into foul ground to make the grab on Austin Hedges. Quintana loves it, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
Oh, he's got to love it, and this is a great effort. Why? Because he takes a peek and slides so he doesn't run into that wall. Obviously, sliding into it stops that momentum. But the concentration for Garcia, very nice play.
Jose Quintana, this is one of the game's best when he is right.
Yeah, and he also pitches to his glove side, and that's his strength. But also the curveball is going to come into play if he throws that for strikes. You see, he doesn't throw a lot.
Here's Hunter Renfroe. Dropped him down to the order, relieved some of the pressure, had him batting 8th. And did fairly well there. He moves back up the order today. That's 6th for Andy Green. Fouls it off out ahead of this. Down the left field line, out of play. For 6 in the series is Renfroe. A little bit more patient at the plate, though. A couple of walks in the series. Home runs, time for the 3rd most among National League rookies. Spent the majority of last year with AAA El Paso, named the MVP of the Pacific Coast League, hitting at .306 last year. One-two pitch from Quintana.
Well, the Padres did a nice job early in this game to maintaining that ball inside because it looks so good, but it's cutting off the plate. Andy Green knows that they have to execute game plans a lot better for this offense.
playing Renfroe to pull here. Center fielder Leury Garcia over towards left center. Pretty big gap out there in right center. Lots of green grass out there.
Wow.
Ball 4, and Renfroe has walked again. 3rd walk of this series. And it comes with 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
We've seen more patience from Hunter Renfroe. That's a good sign. Now, hopefully those numbers and average starts to creep up because of seeing so many pitches.
Renfroe at first with 2 down for Corey Spangenberg. Here to start at 3rd base. 263 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. So it's his call up from El Paso, beginning the year at AAA. Swings away and lifts one down the left field line. Willie Garcia towards the line and into foul ground to make the catch. That ends the inning. Done with an inning and a half with the White Sox on top 1-0.
The Padres as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning here in Chicago, and they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. The good news is you can teach veteran pitchers new tricks, and that's exactly what Darren Balsley is trying to do with Jared Weaver today. Throughout his career, Weaver has pitched on the right side of the pitching rubber, as you see on the right side of your screen, but today he's pitching from the center of the pitching rubber, as you can see on the left side of your screen right there. The hope is that by moving a little bit towards the center of the rubber, it will allow him to more easily get to the outside corner down away from the right-handers. We'll see if it works out today, guys, but it's always interesting to see Darren Balsley working with the veteran pitchers and trying to make them even better.
Bob, such a good point, and thank you for that. And you think about some of the pitchers, they talk about creating pitching lanes.
In the air down the right field line. Renfroe long run, wind blowing it too, and it's going to get down. Renfroe spins and fires towards second base, going to be close, and he is out at second base. Matt Davidson gunned down the great arm of Hunter Renfroe in right field. Well, Davidson tried aggressively to get to second base, make it a double, but he ran against the wrong guy.
Well, you got to love this for Hunter Renfroe because he's played way over. This dumps into right field. He is on an all-out sprint to get to this ball. Momentum going towards the wall. And throwing a cannon, a one-hop strike to Sardinas. Incredible throw. And you see the spike up on the arm. That's dangerous.
So 9-6 on the throw out there at second base, and it brings up Tyler Saladino.
Seen some strong throws by Hunter Renfroe, but at times not accurate when it comes to it, but the strength, having your momentum going the other way and getting that much on the throw. But I wanted to go back to it. I think Trevor Hoffman talks about pitching lanes, and I always thought it was fascinating that guys moved on the rubber to create different lanes. deception has a lot to do with it, but being able to get that down and away fastball and locating that is pretty important.
Interesting that Jared Weaver to the point now where he is certainly willing to change some things up here to get a different result.
Yeah, definitely. He's looking for his first win as a Padre. But also you think about that first inning, bases loaded, he gets the big double play, gets himself out of it. That might give him just enough courage to go, hey, let's go. We're into the start. Let's give my team an opportunity to win a ball game.
Saladino lifts it in the air down the left field line towards the corner over is Caesar, and he'll make the catch. Right by the 330 marker down that left field corner. And that ball looked like it was headed towards the seats, but Saladino retired, 2 down.
Well, he surveys the land and took a flash look at the wall, knew where he was. Matt Caesar continues to play all outfield positions, mostly in left, but looks comfortable out there.
2 down here in the second inning brings up Omar Narvaez. The catcher started the first game of the series. So Kevin Smith catch yesterday, and now Narvaez catching game 3. You got to be prepared for that ball to come back too if you're Matt Caesar down the left field line, because the flags in left center are howling out towards right.
And we've seen some fly balls that have really been maneuvered by the wind. Always peaking as an outfielder, because in Chicago here, you know it can change at any time. But peeking up and seeing those flags towards right field, that'll indicate where you can play.
More so Wrigley than here.
Well, I'd say Wrigley because of, you look at the stands and they're protecting that, but yeah, Wrigley Field is that field, and Matt Caesar knows perfectly about Wrigley Field because that's where you got him from the Cubs.
Narvaez lays off a pitch up top, and Weaver falls behind here, 3-1.
It's interesting, and you ride into Wrigley Field, you get off the bus, that's the first thing you look at. And then if you're an outfielder, you're constantly looking at the flags.
Popped up into shallow left. Caesar coming in full bore. Now pull it up and make the catch that ends the inning. Through 2 from Chicago. White Sox on top 1-0. As we head to the top of the 3rd inning on this Mother's Day, and we have our pink bats up here in the booth, and of course these are the bats that can be auctioned off as well, that the players are using down there, and going to the Susan G. Komen Foundation as well for breast cancer awareness. And it is a great bat, and you were mentioning it feels a little harder than your average bat.
It does, feels a little harder. The Louisville Slugger, official bat of the major leagues, and obviously players have their choice when it comes to it. But I was big fan of Louisville, but yes, they are. They're a little heavier, the lacquer on it. You wonder if it has a little more spring on it. But this is an honor for guys to be able to use a pink bat on this weekend. We saw them last night and today.
Yeah, that's the difference this year from last year, is that pink being worn and bats being used on Saturday and Sunday, Mother's Day weekend, where in the past it was just the one game. They used Louisville Slugger pink bats for Mother's Day weekend games. Have been authenticated by Major League Baseball and auctioned exclusively at MLB.com. Again, the funds raised from the auction, which includes additional game-used items, other than pink stuff out there, the catcher's gear, their mask and batting gloves and everything else. Funds raised from that auction will be split evenly between the partners of Susan G. Komen and Stand Up to Cancer.
Also see the socks this year from Stance. That is a new tidbit this year. It's a good look for these guys. And
how about the shoes some of the guys got on?
Wow, you got the catcher's gear, you got everything, which you understand the impact of trying to battle cancer.
All the baseballs provided by Rollins will be pink stitched. The official baseball, Major League Baseball. Pink ribbon also appearing at all the bases at each ballpark. Not familiar with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Its inception was in 1982. The world's largest breast cancer organization. It's funded more than $920 million in research, provided more than $2 billion in funding to screening. A tremendous foundation. 2-2 pitch is lined to left field. Incoming is Garcia into the slide, and Willie Garcia comes up with it on the backhand and robs Luis Sardinez. One down here in the third inning.
Well, we saw Sardinez get the start in Texas. Swung the bat very well. And he's, again, a nice swing and a better play by Willie Garcia in left.
One out, and Luis Torrens coming up here for the Padres. 11 no homers and a run batted in into his 12th game of the year. Hedges is in the lineup today for the Padres, but he is DHing as Torrens does the catching. To short on one hop, picked by Saladino. Two down here in the third inning.
MLB.tv at bat is your #1 mobile app for live baseball, Padres baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Padres home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
Two down here in the third inning brings up Manuel Margot. Second time through now for Jose Quintana through this Padres lineup in the last 7 games for Manny. 10 hits, 400 average. The home run here last night. Trying to dance out of the way of that pitch, did somehow.
We saw last night's home run the opposite way. Again, his first single in the first was a line drive to right field. I think Quintana is going to try to test him inside.
Two down here in the third inning. Padres with a hit so far today, and Margot's got it. He singled to right field first time up. The home run he hit last night on the first pitch of the ball game was his 3rd leadoff home run of the season. Thought about it. Did he go? They checked. No, he did not. Says Chad Fairchild, first base umpire.
Well, again, staying in the strike zone is huge. You see Manny Margot check swinging that changeup, which I think was the first one of Quintana on the day. Fastball in.
And that's ball 4. Second walk allowed by Quintana so far today. So a 2-out walk for Margot, and that'll bring up Matt Caesar. Bounced into the 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. 5 for 15 so far in a Padres uniform. With all 3 outfield positions since joining the Padres. Coming over from the north side of Chicago to join the Padres. Playing here today as a visitor in the south side. Padres head home after the ball game today. This wraps up this road trip. Of course, started in Arlington, Texas, the back end of the home and home series with 2 games in Arlington and now 3 here in the weekend series against the White Sox.
You see paying attention to Manny Margot, 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Quintana knows with 2 outs he's got to try to keep him close. That'll tell Matt Caesar that he's paying attention to him. Maybe pick out that fastball inside.
40th pitch coming up here for Quintana. And it's a pop-up in the infield left side. Saladino is there, and he makes the catch that ends the inning. Padres leave a base runner. White Sox have a 1-0 lead.
Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for everything you do. Love you.
Hey, Mom. Want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I hope you enjoy your day.
Hey, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. I love you.
Mother's Day from Chicago. A lot of the Padres sending out their well wishes to their moms. And a lot of moms in attendance here today at the ballpark, as you might imagine.
Love to see it. Tell you what, my mom was in attendance all the time. I actually put my mom and dad's name on every hat I wore because every single time they could make it, they got to the game. And it was a huge influence because it helped me. You think about from parents, and don't minimize the effort that you put into being there for your kids. It's pretty impactful.
Well, your parents were here for the first 2 games of this series in Chicago.
Yeah, it's been pretty strange because they haven't seen a lot of baseball since I retired. Obviously, they don't want to come to the game and listen to me talk. But they enjoyed it. You know, the time that I got to spend in the big leagues, obviously coming to some ballparks and watching a major league game. You know, they didn't minimize that, and they miss it. But it was always fun to see them. They're in Massachusetts. I'm in San Diego. It's tough travel, so we don't get to see each other as much as we'd want.
And Willie Garcia lifts a fly ball to shallow left. Sardinia's out, sees her in, and much easier play for the Padres left fielder for the first out of the third inning. Let's check in with Bob.
Thank you, Don. The Padres before the ball game today making a roster move. Jarrett Cosart has been activated off the 10-day disabled list. As you recall, he last pitched on April 18th, left that ball game with a strained hamstring. He's ready to go. Andy said that he'll be working out of the bullpen, long relief. They're happy to have him back. The corresponding move, well, you know what it is, of course. Kevin Quackenbush getting sent back down to AAA. It's the 12th time in his career now that he has been optioned back to AAA El Paso. He has been the yo-yo for this ball club, and he did a nice job while he was here.
It's unbelievable how many times he's been up and back.
Well, it's not an easy discussion for Andy Green, and also doing that to Kevin Quackenbush. All he can do is what he did up at the big league level. Continue to work hard, also go down there and not make it an excuse. Be upset because you've seen that as well. But I think Kevin Quackenbush has handled this situation very nicely.
And you think about it, he's done nothing that would warrant him going back to the minor leagues again. I mean, he comes up here, he pitches well each time, he pitches whenever the ball's given to him, and he's been very, very good, and yet he goes back and forth.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite. You come up here, that's all you can do is stick your hand out, take the ball. You know what situations you're going to be in, but it's frustrating at times. And mentally, where is Kevin Quackenbush? Is he stronger because of it? Well, if he's stronger because of it, that's the guy I want. And I think the organization understands the value of Kevin Quackenbush.
Fly ball headed out towards right center field. From center, it's Margoni. Almost overran that ball. 2 down. So Garcia retired. And brings up Yolmer Sanchez. Sanchez with a bunt single in the first inning. Kind of led up to the run the White Sox got in the first. Only run of this game. 4 outs have all been fly ball outs. 2 down here in the third. Sanchez ready to face Jared Weaver. Five-game hitting streak for Sanchez, including that base hit back in the first inning. Scan, we've looked at the numbers, and you talked about them off the top about Weaver and being in another ballpark here like Chicago where he has dominated over the years. This is line to right. That's going to get in for a base hit. Now, what is it about some ballparks you just feel more comfortable in? Is it the mound? Is it the depth perception behind home plate? What is it?
Don, you're absolutely right. It could be either one or both of those things. There are certain mounds that for whatever reason you stand on them and it has the right slope, it has the right angle. It just feels comfortable as you're throwing, and it'll be different for different guys. And the other factor is, as you also mentioned, is the visual. There are certain mounds, for whatever reason, you stand on it, and as you look at home plate, you feel like you are 30 feet away. You are right on top of that guy, and you almost feel like you can place the ball in the catcher's mitt. On the other hand, there's other ballparks where you feel like you're 100 feet away, and it's just a visual thing. Even though you know it's 60 feet 6 inches, it just doesn't feel the same to you. Obviously, this has been a very comfortable place for Jared to fire the pill.
Yeah, it's interesting, Bob, too. And you think about it from the hitter's perspective, same thing. Batter's box and batter's eye, 2 elements that you feel more comfortable with in certain spots.
Over to first base, and back is Sanchez.
Sweens, I don't know if this happened for you, but quite honestly, there were certain teams where you have a little success against them early on, and then just psychologically you see that opposing uniform and you know, I own these guys. Yeah. And it doesn't even matter who's in the uniform. You've just had success and you just feel confident going out there.
Well, typically, Bob, and especially managers now, and Tony La Russa was like this. If you had success against a certain guy, like Hideo Nomo, for example, pops in my mind. I had a home run, my first career home run against him. Well, I got to start against him every time he pitched when I was with Tony. They go with the numbers, and they try to put you in that comfortable position. And I think that is a factor when you think about being in places that you feel comfortable. Obviously, I didn't have enough at bats to feel like I dominated anybody. But there are certain situations that I think managers these days try to put you in.
On the ground down the third baseline as Spangenberg with a long throw will get it there without a problem. Showing off the good arm that ends the inning. We head to the fourth, 1-0 Chicago.
I'm
gonna try.
Who's been the biggest influence on you baseball-wise?
I think my dad. My dad, obviously, he didn't get a chance to play in college or anything, but he's been my coach from the time I was little, and helped me out other ways, and just been my best friend.
Now this week's Padres POV presented by Nissan is tonight after Padres Live on Fox Sports San Diego. Get to know Hunter Renfroe a little bit better.
Be interesting to hear about shooting a bow and arrow. It's not an easy thing.
No. Padres coming up here in the fourth inning. Will Myers, Yangervis Solarte, Austin Hedges. Held to one hit through the first three innings. A couple of walks. Myers takes strike one. He was a strikeout victim in the first inning.
8 of 12 first pitch strikes for Jose Quintana.
He's operated around a lot today, 93 miles an hour for Quintana. Pitch count, pretty good shape. Facing his first hitter here of the fourth inning. Here is pitch number 43. Surrounds the plate but misses outside.
Watching this strike zone by Alfonso Marquez, I would eliminate the inside part of the plate until you get 2 strikes. Simple approach, but you're seeing Quintana's trying to get that backdoor curveball to work.
Not missing by a lot, but he's behind here 3-1. One of the issues for his record this year has been the lack of run support. Not only this year, but since 2012, it's just over 3 runs a game. Swing and a foul tip makes it a full count. Second lowest total in the major leagues among active pitchers as far as run support goes since the beginning of 2012.
Well, you know, there's always one guy on the staff, but usually it doesn't last that long.
Oh, that's an extended period of
Wow.
time.
Year to year it changes, but yes, there's always one guy in your starting rotation that doesn't get run support for whatever reason.
158 career starts, of which 60 times he has received 1 or no runs of support.
It's a lot of stress when it comes to trying to execute your pitches when you don't have a comfortable lead.
Look out, and Myers will head on down to first base. That's walk number 3 allowed by Quintana.
Padre fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Download the app and take Padres baseball wherever you go.
Lead runner on for the Padres for the first time since the first inning, and some Padres fans have been here for the series. A lot of throwback jerseys here.
Maybe he's on Fox Sports Go, or he's taking a picture.
Lead runner on here in the 4th inning. And Yangervis Solarte taking a breaking ball for strike 1. Solarte flied out to the center fielder, Leori Garcia, in the 2nd inning. In the air to center again. Leori Garcia is out there. He'll make the catch for the first out here in the 4th inning.
This Mother's Day, join Major League Baseball and our charitable partners in the fight against breast cancer. Log on to MLBcommunity.org, Komen.org, or standuptocancer.org to learn more.
1 out, Will Myers at first base, and that'll bring up Austin Hedges. If you fly out in this game here against the White Sox, you will fly out to a Garcia.
Yes, you will.
Whether it be Willie Garcia in left, Leori Garcia in center, or Avisail Garcia in right.
They were all active in the top of the 2nd.
That's right. Everybody chipped in.
It was a family affair for fly balls.
You lose Felipe Jesus, who I met. Who was the 3rd? You remember?
Oh, my goodness. I had Felipe as a manager in San Francisco, and I should know this. Give me time to Google.
Ooh, I know. But not because I knew myself. It was just
Maddie.
handed to me. Maddie is the answer.
My goodness, that would have been embarrassing. Because I did play with Moises.
Okay.
And that was a treat. One of my favorite teammates ever.
They never started a game in the outfield, all 3 of them, but had finished some games with the outfield all being a lose.
That you think about the impact of what they've had on baseball and playing with your brothers in the same outfield. That has to be pretty special.
Jesus was running the Dominican Academy for a number of years in the Red Sox organization outside of Santo Domingo.
I think Felipe is still part of the Giants organization. What a baseball man.
Swing and a miss. And the breaking ball. And Austin Hedges has a count here of 2-2 with 1 down, and Will Myers at first base. Hedges fouled out down the right field line to Avisail Garcia in the 2nd inning. Pop up down the first base line that'll end up in the seats.
Will Myers has 3 stolen bases on the year. We saw him really take off last year. More aggressive. The 2-2 count, 1 out. Not a bad time to go.
Thinking along the same lines as Quintana, and he goes over there to first base, and Myers back to the bag, held on by Matt Davidson. Get your game break coming up. Phillies and Nationals playing in Washington today, and we'll get you updated on that game. Foul back, and it hangs here at 2-2.
About Bryce Harper signing an extension and having a game winner
on the same
on
day.
the same day. That's a good day.
Avoid arbitration. Did you ever have a chance to go to arbitration?
I did not,
No.
and I wasn't that type of player, to be honest with you. And listen, whatever I could get, and if I could get on the roster, I was pretty happy. It came down to that, but not anything to break the bank on.
You and your agent were going with the numbers to the office to arbitrate?
No. Just sign the deal and be happy with it.
Here's a pop-up into shallow right center. We'll see what the wind does to this. As Garcia's coming in, and let's see what the wind does with it. It pushes it back, lands on the grass, throw to third. Myers will be out at third base. Had to wait around to see if anybody was going to catch that. They did not, and then he tried to get to third. And he is out at third base. Looks like he gets some dirt in his eye on the headfirst slide there. As he is thrown out for out number 2.
Well, obviously Garcia does not see this off the bat. And like you said, Don, the wind took havoc to that play. But Lori Garcia does a nice job hustling over, throwing a strike to Frazier. You watch Will Myers, he's just surveying the land, sees that Garcia does not see the ball. You wonder if they're going to challenge it, and it looks like they are going to.
Dirt flying up into his eyes too as he made his way in on the headfirst slide. He pulled that hand back, which is to get him on that second swipe.
Yeah, you see a lot of that, and Todd Frazier ends up taking the throw from right. Plenty of time. He lays him down, and then you can see Will Myers pulling that left arm back, and the right hand looks like it gets in there. Showing this on the big screen as well, and you see the reaction of the team. It's like Will Myers gets in there, but the dirt coming up, you wonder if that's the look. And it has to be definitive for them to change the call. Larry Vanover, the crew chief.
Yeah, did Frazier get it on the chest? That tag there before the fingertips reached the bag. That's the question. Is it definitive enough to overturn it? Sometimes that's more of a factor.
Typically, the longer it takes for the review, the harder it is to change the call. Most times.
This will either be a first and third, one out, or a runner at first and 2 down here for the Padres. This will be the first time they've had a runner to third base in the game. They're still trying to get some of that dirt out. To have an answer, and Myers is out. Padres lose their challenge. Not definitive enough. So 2 down. Hedges at first base, and Hunter Renfroe will make his way to the plate. Now 2 walks in the first 30 games. How about 7 in the last 8? Been much more selective, and a lot of that coming from lower in the order. Batting 8th the last 2 games for the Padres.
Taking pressure off of him by putting him in the 8th spot, moving him up today.
Lifts a fly ball to right field. Avisail Garcia makes his way in, and this time a little easier. Makes the catch that ends the inning. 3.5 done from Chicago. White Sox lead it 1-0. Sunday afternoon in Chicago. A little breezy, but it is the Windy City after all.
It is. And going back to Bryce Harper, you think he feels comfortable?
I would say so.
He's back to that 2015 version. Last year, a little bit of a down year.
I was going to say, everybody says, last year, what a terrible year.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible year. Still put up numbers, but the high expectation and setting that bar so high. But man, is he putting a punishing on baseballs this year.
Avisail Garcia leading it off here for the White Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bounced into a 6-4-3 double play in the 1st inning. And followed by Todd Frazier, Matt Davidson. Weaver's been fairly economical so far today.
You go back to that double play that you just talked about. That was the big change for Jared Weaver, in my opinion. You get bases loaded, no outs. Garcia, who comes in with 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, and having a monster start to the season. That was the pitch of the game so far.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot differently than it did. The double play was something Padres definitely would take in an exchange. Did score a run, but it could have been a lot worse in that 1st inning.
And you wonder if that change to the other side in the center of the rubber is making it a little bit more deceptive to the hitter.
I guess from a mental standpoint, even if it's not actually to the hitter, at least in your mind, if it is, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
An extra edge.
You got to get results.
On the ground towards third, Spangenberg will throw it, but late. Spun around there in some soft dirt at third base, and he is doing some housekeeping down there right now. It's an error charge to Spangenberg. It allows Garcia to reach.
Well, we saw Will Myers sliding into third. There's a lot of dirt over there, to your point.
Sandbox.
Makes it difficult for the infielders that transfer from the grass to the dirt, but a play that Spangenberg has to make. He's doing some groundskeeping right now.
Lead runner on the error committed by Spangenberg, and it brings up Todd Frazier. 0-for-1, grounding out to shortstop, and Luis Sardinha is in the 1st inning. Two for 9 so far in the series for the former Cincinnati Red. On the ground to third, Spangenberg can atone for the error to second for 1. On to first for 2. Double play turn by the Padres. Their 2nd of the day. This one goes around the horn.
Well, when you make an error, you want that ball hit to you, and it immediately goes to Corey Spangenberg. Nice turn in the center of the diamond by Solarte, but a big pitch by Jared Weaver.
2 down here in the 4th inning, and it brings up Matt Davidson. That's one of 4 White Sox hits on the day. Last 12 games, he's really struggled at the plate. Reefer's last 37 coming in. He has been DHing. Breaking ball for a strike over the outside corner.
And that gets into your head too. Always seems like you're 0-2 when you're going through those stretches. Every time you take a pitch, it's a strike. When you get a good pitch, you foul it off. You got to battle those.
This one off, and it hangs at 1-2. It's time now for our San Diego fans of the game. We've seen a lot of Padres fans making their way to Chicago for this weekend series.
Rocking the brown.
A lot of brown.
It's a Friar faithful.
Off the end of the bat, back to the screen. Gibson battling here with 2 down. The last of the 4th inning. Only run of this game back in the 1st inning. For the White Sox. And Abigail Garcia grounding into the 6-4-3 double play. Leury Garcia scored from 3rd base. There's no RBI because of the double play. Swing and a miss, and Weaver gets his first strikeout and is through 4 innings here today, allowing just the 1 run. 1-0 White Sox through 4 as Matt Davidson's down by way of the K.
Wanted me to be in life was a ball player, and she passed away in August of my last season playing. So as much as I do think she would yell at me during this chapter of life and enjoy this chapter of life, all she ever wanted out of me was a ball player. And so her passing my last month of my baseball career was probably fitting timing, and she was her and my mom did everything for me growing up. So Mother's Day is always a special day for both those women.
Well, Andy Green talking about his late grandmother who raised him along with his mom, and certainly very near and dear to his heart and his baseball career.
Yeah, it had a huge impact in his career, obviously. You can see the emotion just even speaking about that situation. You got to have that in your life to have importance and another purpose when you're going through this journey through Major League Baseball. And obviously his grandmother would love to see him managing at the big league level.
Sounded like quite the motivator.
Always there.
Yes.
And she had reason to motivate.
Leading it off here for the Padres, Corey Spangenberg. Spangenberg, Sardinez, and Torrens the bat here in the inning. Spangenberg fouled out down the left field line. Willie Garcia went into foul ground to make the catch. They're playing for Spangenberg to go the other way. And again, Willie Garcia very close to the line in left field. Fouled off the catcher and maybe the umpire.
Well, Don, they've been aggressive, especially on the outfield shifts, and it's not necessarily a couple strides over there.
No.
You can see the center fielder right out here. And that is aggressive because typically if you're shading right over here the opposite way. That has a lot to do with the left fielder trying to minimize that gap in the left center.
Yeah, a little more dramatic. to second on one hop, and Sanchez throws out Spangenberg. One down here in the 5th inning. I want to remind you, the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Enter promo code Padres5. One down here in the 5th. Brings up Luis Sardinez. And the start today at shortstop. Eric Aybar getting the beginning of the game off anyway. The finale of this road trip in Chicago. Sardinez lined out to the left fielder, Willie Garcia, in the 3rd inning, and he takes strike 1. Fifth start for Sardinez. Most of his work has come off the bench, pinch hitting late in games. That's a fly ball, pretty well to left field. Back goes Willie Garcia at the track. He will leap and make the catch right in front of the wall. Well, Garcia got back there, then a little ups to make that catch out there, and Luis Sardinez is out number 2. So he made a bid for his first home run of the year.
Man, I thought he got this. He really pulled his hands in nicely. Had the sound off the bat. See Willie Garcia surveying the land, and probably wasn't going to go out, but probably influenced by the wind and left.
And again, it is blowing pretty hard from left to right. I would categorize it as howling.
Yes.
From left to right. 2 down here in the 5th. And Luis Torrens. He'll take strike 1. Catcher bounced to short, first time up.
Thought Luis could, on his last start with Luis Perdomo throwing, had his best start as a rookie.
Offensively, defensively, or the whole package?
I thought it was the whole package. The reason why, obviously, his priority is to handle Luis Perdomo. I thought they worked well together, and his at-bats were pretty good. It's a very difficult task to not get a lot of playing time, be a Rule 5 pick, and enter that game and execute a game plan first and foremost, but also get in the batter's box and have competitive at bats.
Now Quintana not afraid to pitch inside. He's missed a lot inside today, though.
He really has, and it started this at bat off with that rare strike on the inside corner.
Torrens will chop it down the 3rd baseline. It's a foul ball. Todd Frazier getting it for good measure, but foul ball, and Torrens will have to come on back.
Talked to Justin Hatcher, the catching instructor on this staff, who recently had a birthday, but he talked about on the plane about Luis Torrens, and he was very happy in his start that we just alluded to. He liked how he executed the game plan, and he's maturing in front of him. Listen, there's going to be growing pains. As you know, the Rule 5 picks, that's not an easy task.
Swing and a miss, and Torrens down on strikes here. That's a 2nd strikeout for Quintana. 1-0 White Sox.
Jeter on the run, makes the play.
The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
It's his first Grand Slam.
Number 2, Derek Jeter.
Now tonight they will retire the number of Derek Jeter at Yankee Stadium as part of a pregame ceremony, and the 5-time World Series champion, our top-tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. And how cool was it to hear Bob Shepard in there and hear him over the years introduce Derek Jeter long after Bob Shepard had passed away. He's in the air out to left center field, shallow, and coming from left to make the catch is Matt Caesar. He came out of nowhere to make that grab. Tyler Saladino is retired. Nice play by Caesar. The wind playing with that. Caesar makes the grab.
Well, as we've talked about this whole game, you see the wind. He actually went back on this baseball first. The first read was that, and then athletically coming in and making the diving catch.
One down here in the 5th inning brings up Omar Narvaez. And one of my favorite players to watch over the years, Derek Jeter, no doubt about it.
Well, you think about they're retiring the last single-digit number other than 0 for the Yankees. So the impact of what a legacy in that Yankee uniform. I thought it was perfect storm for Major League Baseball with Derek Jeter, 20 years in a Yankee uniform in the face of baseball. Huge impact in the game. A lot of us that played in the same era really respected the way he treated the game, the respect that he got from all of his peers, and obviously being around Joe Torre a little bit, the respect that they had, their individual relationship, was pretty awesome to hear.
Well, he wins those championships. I mentioned 5 and like 3 in the first couple of years there, right out of the gate. And we were talking to Joe Torre about it. Joe Torre said, you know, I pulled him aside and I said, listen, it's not going to be like this every year. But he didn't know any better. He just got in there. The championships were following.
Yeah, and I think everyone is, and Derek Jeter would be the guy that deflect the impact that whole roster had. Obviously, Joe Torre had an impact on it. They had a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, that championship doesn't come because of talent. I think he set a tone. You saw it so many times. You were calling those games. In the big moments, Derek Jeter seemed to flourish on those because he had a certain calmness that I think all of us respected. It almost seemed like he was going to come through all the time. Obviously, plenty of hits, almost 3,500 hits.
An opposite field base hit, and it would always come when he needed it the most.
And that last at bat and the game-winning, he just went out in a perfect time. I think baseball is trying to find that identity because of Derek Jeter and the impact he had. Now everyone always talks about who's the next face. It's not easy to get.
To me, defensively, the one pattern play is the one where he goes deep in the hole and goes up in the air and throws out a base runner at first, something that he did masterfully over the years. Well, here's ball 4, and other shortstops around Major League Baseball have noticed, so Troy Tulowitzki and others, and Eric Ibar is one of those guys who's a Derek Jeter fan.
When a little kid in Dominican, I say I had to be like Jeter. That's why I picked number 2. So I like that number for Jeter, and tomorrow's the day, and I'll be happy for him.
There are a lot of guys wearing number 2, and that included Troy Tulowitzki during his time with the Colorado Rockies.
Pretty interesting. He was with the Colorado Rockies, and he went into New York. They had an off day. Yankees were playing. He was in the seats watching because of Derek Jeter.
That's cool.
Not many guys go to games on an off day.
No.
But you think about it, it's one of those aspects. And you see Eric Ibar with the off day today. If people wearing the number 2 because of Derek Jeter, it shows the impact that he had.
Willie Garcia batting here with 1 out, 1 on.
And you said, Donna, that specialized play in the hole and jumping up. Well, it was on a shoe.
Yeah.
That tells you that he made that play a lot of times. And yes, he just looked like the game was slowed down in the main stage in New York when they had the best years of their franchise, you could arguably say.
I had the chance to do his last game, which a lot of people don't realize was on the road at Fenway Park, was after the walk-off win that they had had at Yankee Stadium. He very easily could have said, I'm not playing that last series at Fenway Park. I finished here, I got the walk-off hit, but he valued the schedule. So that's where the season ends, and that's where I'm going to play my final game.
Yeah, he always had respect in the thought of the fans of baseball on his mind, and that's why I thought he was the face of baseball, not obviously the face of New York Yankees. I think baseball needed that. They needed that identity, plenty of talent throughout the game. But he embraced that, and he did it with a lot of pride and dignity in playing the game of baseball.
3-0 pitch coming up here to Willie Garcia. And that is ball 4. So Weaver walks the number 9 man. Back-to-back walks here. And talking about Derek Jeter, Glenn Hoffman, the former shortstop in his own right, had some things to say about Derek.
I mean, it's one of those fairy tale careers where even when he got his 3,000th hit, you know, he went 5 for 5, and but more than that, being captain of the New York Yankees and playing the middle infield for 20 years. I mean, when you play the middle infield, you're the leader out there, and you know, to do it and stay healthy and to embrace it, it's just been awesome.
Well put. Glenn Hoffman about Derek Jeter kind of saying it all.
Yeah, and I think not only are the shortstops impressed, which Glenn Hoffman, as you said, was a shortstop, so a little more pride in that. I think everyone had respect for Derek Jeter.
When he was playing shortstop for the Red Sox, Bucky Dent was playing shortstop on the other side for the Yankees. 1 out, 2 on here for the White Sox. All of a sudden, back-to-back walks, and Willie Garcia goes after the changeup. 1 for 2, a single in the first, scored a run, and then flied out to center in the third. Running into a little bit of trouble here, walking the 8-man and the 9-man after getting the first out here in the 5th inning.
Oh, back-to-back changeups. Let's see if he changes the eye level. Tries to get that fly ball.
On the ground right side, and diving at second is Solarte. He'll throw to first for the out. Nice play. Got Harvis laying it out there at second base, and hopefully he's okay. Now holding onto that arm, the arm that he, where's the glove on, that he made the diving play on, kind of landed on it.
Well, going to his left in back-to-back nights where he's made a spectacular play at second base. An accurate throw for a big out. Watch the reactions. Playing in just a little bit for that double play because of the speed of Garcia. And you see that impact of the body weight coming down on that shoulder, trying to brace it.
Second and third, 2 down. Solarte appears to be okay. And it brings up Yolmer Sanchez. White Sox second baseman, 2 for 2. Bunt single in the first, single to right in the third. Outfield very shallow.
Well, also Corey Spangenberg honoring that bunt, even with 2 outs.
Fouled off down the left field line, out of play. Started with Saladino flying out to left field. Narvaez walked. Garcia walked. Larry Garcia grounded out to second base, pushing the runners to second and third. Weaver trying to pitch out of a jam here in the 5th. Sanchez to center field. Margot started back, now in a step or 2, and he'll make the catch that ends the inning. Weaver is out of the jam. Through 5, 1-0 White Sox. into the 6th inning as Derek Weaver just got out of a jam there. 2nd and 3rd, and Red Sox do not score.
Well, the Padres have to do something 3rd time around. Manny Margot has been on base twice in this game. The first with a single to right and also a walk.
Caesar and Myers to follow. The Padres batting here in the 6th inning. So far, just the 2 Padres hits. A single by Margot, you mentioned, and a single by Austin Hedges. Quintana has walked 3 Padres. Quintana 2 and 5, 4.46 earned run average. Not the numbers you're used to seeing, but again, he's received very little or no run support on the season. And certainly pitching much better today. This one's back over his outstretched glove from second base, barehanded. Sanchez throw is off the mark and pulls Davidson off the bag. Should be a base hit here for Margot, and it would be his 2nd of the day.
Should be a base hit, but what a play by Davidson. See this, once it gets over Quintana, I don't think there's going to be a play made, but Davidson dives and keeps this from going into the dugout. The speed and impact that he has at the top of the order continues.
So lead runner on here for the Padres, 3rd time in the game that's been the case. And it brings up Matt Caesar, who has bounced into a double play and popped out to shortstop.
Well, we've also seen him lay down a bunt. Now it's to 3rd base. In this situation, you want to bunt towards 2nd base with the left-handed pitcher.
Davidson holding on Margot, the lead a little bit larger. Bunt bid is popped up foul over by the on deck circle where Myers is waiting. Well, the Padres been using the home run ball for the most part this year. About 52% of runs being scored via the home run.
Well, Andy Green knows that trend has to change. They have to be able to create that. This is a time that I think Andy's going to put his footprint on this offense.
Pop-up foul off first. That'll get into the seats behind the Padres dugout.
Why I say that is Quintana has settled in just a little bit, and he's shown them different looks. Well, this is when you try to push the envelope a little bit, maybe with the stolen base, hit and run, but you have your best hitter on deck in Will Myers.
Well, the top of the order doing what they're supposed to do, and Margot getting on 3rd time today that he has been on. A little bigger lead, and that time Quintana noticed and goes back over there again.
He has given different looks, multiple looks to control their run game. Quintana's gone the slide step, the quick move over to first, and also the slow move. He has yet to step off with that left foot. You always remember the first base coaches, and most likely Davey Lopes comes to my mind. Always picked out a particular thing that especially left-handers would do. You see Johnny Washington in the ear of Manny Margot. Might be that front shoulder might be tucked a little bit. They're looking for keys to be able to go on first move. So many aspects to being able to be a base stealer rather than speed. You have to have the way you can read a certain pitcher, know that the keys, and executing it rather than being told, yes, you have to steal a base here and run. There's a lot to it when it comes down to stealing bases. I always remember Dave Roberts always talked about Maury Wills, the impact that he had in learning how to steal bases. Dave Roberts always had speed. And you know that he had the biggest stolen base in Red Sox history in an impactful moment. But you have to learn to be a base stealer. You have to pick out certain things to have an impact in the game. Manny Margot is learning that at the big league level.
Little pop-up foul backing out of play. He talks about how, where Wills told him there's going to be a time where you're going to have to steal a base and everybody in the ballpark knows you're going to be trying to steal that base. And boy, did it ever come to fruition.
It was unbelievable. Watching that game and knowing the impact that everyone knew he was pinch running and he had to steal that base.
Runner goes. Caesar will take a pitch outside, throw down, and Margot will be out. Caught stealing. I thought he beat it. The throw may have beaten him, but I don't know about the tag.
Now remember,
don't have a challenge.
Exactly right. They don't have their challenge. So see the throw. I thought he got in there as well. Looked like he was coming up when the tag was applied. Good pitch to throw on, and yeah, it's a high tag. But again, only one challenge if you lose that challenge. The Padres did lose that with the Will Myers slide into third base.
So one out, and Caesar here now. The count has worked back to 2-2. He's fouled some off. Strike three call. Caesar out number 2 here in the 6th inning. Well, since 2013, you look at Jose Quintana in the top 5 as far as strikeouts. AL leaders 741. Chris Sale, who was a former White Sox here, along with Quintana for years, and David Price, the top 3. Dallas Keuchel and Hector Santiago, the Minnesota Twins. Quintana is the ace of this staff with Sale gone.
Well, with those strikeouts, also being a workhorse, because he's one of 6 pitchers in major leagues that's recorded 200+ innings and 30+ starts in each of the last 4 seasons. Why does so many franchises want Jose Quintana? Yes, he has the stuff. He's going to take the ball. It's a nice track record to have.
Has to be tough, though, having your name thrown around as early as last year in the trade deadline and the off season, and now you head into the season and everybody seems to think you're headed somewhere else. And a lot of people here with the White Sox feel like that's why the numbers are what they are this year for Quintana.
Yeah, and that phone call can happen at any time. It can be a tap on the shoulder and we got to talk to you.
Soft ground ball. Quintana off the third base side of the mound will throw out Myers, and the Padres have gone to the 6th inning. It's 1-0 Chicago.
Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. And by your Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proud partner of the San Diego Padres. It's not far from our hotel, downtown Chicago.
Yeah, right there.
Michigan Ave.
A few restaurants around there too, I heard.
Just a couple. Now Jared Weaver working here into the 6th inning, and Jose Abreu takes strike one. Weaver got out of a 2nd and 3rd 1-out jam in the 5th inning. His 73rd pitch of his outing. And Abreu takes that for a ball high, 1-1.
Well, that's what you got to like about Weaver. Obviously, in the first at bat against Abreu, threw one off his left shoulder. He goes right back in there with the fastball. Let's see if it sets up that slider.
Popped up foul, back and below us. Abreu will chop that foul, and to lunge after that pitch, headed away to get a piece of that.
Yeah, you look at this game, and I think that's been the pitch for Weaver. That slider, that sweeping slider on the outside part of the plate against right-handed hitters.
Off to the right, out of play, and Abreu hanging tough here. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning and then grounded out in the 3rd. His 3rd plate appearance here against Weaver. Weaver's longest outing this year is 6 innings, and he has done that on 2 occasions. Back-to-back no decisions at Atlanta and home against Miami. Swing and a miss, and he's able to strike out Abreu. That's the 2nd strikeout for Weaver. One down here in the 6th inning as we check in with Bob Scanlon.
Thanks, Don. As Mark Sweeney was saying, one of the big differences for Weaver so far today has been the use of his slider. Now, he's done a great job of keeping all of his breaking pitches down in the zone, but in his previous outings, it's been the curveball that he's gotten burned on the most. The hitters have hit 387 off it. They've hit 4 home runs off that curveball up in the zone, but today he's had the slider down. The other thing he's done really well is pitched behind in the count effectively. He's fallen behind a few times, but he's recorded 6 outs so far today when he's been behind in the count, using the aggressiveness of the Sox hitters against him by using that off speed. Hopefully he can keep it going.
Scan, how have you noticed as far as his positioning on the rubber and what kind of impact that's had with the change made here today?
It's been really interesting, Don, because in the 1st inning we saw that he had made that adjustment that he and Darren Balsley had worked on in the bullpen in terms of moving from the extreme right side of the rubber to the middle of it to try to help him get to that outside corner.
The liner into left field for a base hit.
But what was interesting is that as the game has gone on, it's looked like he's gone back over towards that right side a little bit. Now, Balsley told me before the game, he said, look, Scan, it's something that we've been working on. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to apply it or not. He'll probably give it a try, and it's not uncommon to see guys try something. If they're not comfortable with it, they go back to what they're used to. He's gone back and forth a little bit today. We'll see how he works out of the stretch.
All right, thanks very much here. 1 out with obviously Al Garcia at first base.
Well, Scan, my question to that is how many pitchers do move on the rubber multiple times in an outing? Do they stay on that same side, or do they move occasionally?
You know, there's not too many guys that move around, but there are some, Mark, and you're absolutely right, especially if you're trying to get to that outside corner. So right-handed versus right-handed, for example, this might be a spot where he might move to the other side of the rubber. And then if a left-hander's up, you want to try to get to the other side. So there are some guys that move around. There's other pitchers also, Sweens, that'll actually put their foot in a slightly different position. Oral Hershiser used to do that. When he needed to get to a certain side of the plate, he didn't change his position on the rubber, but he changed the position of his foot on the rubber to try to give him a little better angle.
That's a great point, because from the hitter's perspective, you don't look at their feet. You're constantly worried about their release point, and you don't.
You're looking up, not down,
Yeah,
right?
You're not worried about that. The base runners are. They look at the way the positioning is of the pitcher, and your concentration is when he is starting and where that release point's coming from.
Curveball that is popped up into shallow right. Solarte ducking back to the short lawn and right, and he'll make the catch. Out number 2. And behind him in case was Hunter Renfroe. And that'll bring up Matt Davidson as Weaver wants a new baseball.
Don, when you think about it, baseball players are creatures of habit when it comes down to it. Yes, he's working on something new, but what's comfortable for him, you think about what he has done in his career, you're always going to go to what feels comfortable. Same as the hitters. A lot of guys don't like moving in the box. They like to stay in the same spot.
Think about it, his first 11 years spent with the Angels and dominating a lot of those years.
Especially these White Sox. He's had great career numbers against.
Throw to first, and diving back is Garcia. Now, the most pitches that Weaver has thrown in any game this year is 89. That was on May the 3rd against Colorado. Pitch 85 coming up here with 2 down in the 6th inning.
Sweens, you were talking about batters that move their feet. That used to be a great tell that we would watch at as pitchers sometimes to let us know if a guy was looking inside, looking outside. Sometimes he'd move up in the box. Were you a guy that moved around very much in the batter's box?
I did not want to. I wanted to try to keep it simple as possible. Yes, there were guys that did do that. You think about the great Tony Gwynn, Mr. Padre. He liked to move up in the batter's box and hit that sinker before it had that late movement. And he stayed typically in that same spot. Well, I think a lot of people that watched Tony and watched him at his craft, if he's not moving around the box, pretty good chance you don't need to. And if he did, it was subtle movements in the box. It wasn't extremes. I see a lot of guys, they'll toe that far back line so you can see it as long as you can. Well, that affects certain pitches, just like a pitcher moving on a rubber. It affects the contact point and timing aspect of it. I think a lot of people go back in the batter's box to see it as long as they can.
2-2. And that is just off the plate. That's interesting. So Tony would get up there and try to get it before the sink part happened.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it worked for him.
Yeah, it did. You should have followed suit, maybe, huh? Looking back on it now.
There's so many things I've done wrong in my career. That's the reason why I put makeup on these days.
A payoff pitch coming up here to Matt Davidson. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Third strikeout for Weaver concludes the 6th inning. White Sox have a 1-0 lead. Break brought to you by T-Mobile. Jason Kipnis 3 for 4. His 4th career 2-home run game. Jacob deGrom 5 innings pitched. That's Milwaukee, and Mets have a 7-1 lead in the 6th inning against the Brew Crew. And Aroldis Chapman was on the DL with a shoulder problem. Last couple of outings have not been good. 4 earned runs, 6 hits, and an inning in the 3rd, and Chapman ends up on the DL.
That's not a good sign for the Yankees, who have had a start to the season.
Yangervis Solarte, a diving play at second base, came up a little bit lame after this bid with the shoulder or arm kind of extended there, a little hyperextension perhaps.
And they looked at him after that inning, and obviously staying in the game. See Paul Navarro trying to test him out.
Popped up, foul ground, and that will land harmlessly into the Padres dugout. Solarte, Hedges, and Renfroe to bat here in the 7th. Weaver has thrown 89 pitches in the first 6 innings, allowing just 1 run today. And Padres do have action in the pen. Kirby Yates is warming right now.
Now, the way he pitched today, hopefully this offense can give him some run support, as he has battled some tough situations, especially in the first inning. Get that big double play by Garcia.
Getting out of that 2nd and 3rd jam also. It was in the 5th inning. White Sox have stranded 5 base runners through the first 6. Meanwhile, Quintana has only received 1 run of support, and he's pitched great today.
Well, in Quintana's starts, he's only had 1 where he's pitched 8 innings. And also, if you look at the pitch count, which I think is pretty important, with 89, this will be his 90th pitch. He's thrown over 100 only 3 times.
Strike calls. Solarte thought he had ball 4, but he gets the bad news from Alfonso Marquez.
Let's take a look at the last pitch here, and it's borderline call, and Marquez has been excellent with the consistency of his strike zone today.
Solarte hits it in the air, foul down the left field line, out of play. As I look down here, it is a chilly day here. It started at 62 degrees. It has cooled off.
Yeah.
There are very few fans sitting in the shade here in the lower bowl. Everybody is sitting in the sunshine to the left where the sun is. Okay, there's the lower bowl to the right.
Not too many people.
Not many people. When we show you the left side, it is almost sold out because it's in the sun. Solarte takes ball 4, and that's a leadoff walk. There it is. What a difference.
It's a packed house.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Everybody goes to the left where the sun is. Nobody's on the right.
Yeah, they're probably giving out sunscreen over there in the left, too.
And over there, the few brave souls that are staying in the shade. They're cold.
If you wore shorts to the game today, get in the sun. It is changed from the first pitch on.
A leadoff walk here for Solarte. Now Austin Hedges, 1 for 2. Pretty good pitchers duel here today in Chicago. Jared Weaver, Jose Quintana, 6 innings, 5 hits for Weaver, 3 for Quintana, and Weaver giving up the game's only run. That was way back in the first inning.
Remember the success that Jared Weaver has had against the White Sox, so that's not a surprise. He pitched very well to this point of the game.
Hedges sends it towards the gap in right center field. That's going to get down, cut off by Garcia. He'll fire it back into the infield, but Solarte's at third on the base hit by Hedges, and the Padres have runners at the corners with nobody out of the 7th inning.
Well, Don, so many people talk about the adjustments in the game, and Austin Hedges, if he's going to be good offensively, he's going to have to do this. This ball is middle in, takes it to right center. He made a conscious effort at the beginning of the season to look that way. And Austin Hedges really has a nice at bat right there.
So first and third, brief meeting at the mound, and Hunter Renfroe coming up. A walk in the second. He fly to right in the fourth inning. Now getting his third look at Jose Quintana today.
You think about that walk in the second, and he had a long at bat. Saw a lot of pitches out of the hand of Quintana, and that helps for these plate appearances. So he's going the breaking ball away.
Ends up in the dirt and blocked by Narvaez. There's action in the pen here now for the White Sox for the first time today. We've talked about how good the bullpen has been for the White Sox as well, and we've seen it firsthand in this series. Two and 0.
Well, you got to love that. Marquez has not given him that inside strike. It's been off the plate. He continues to be consistent. That's to the benefit of the Padres. I'm looking out over the plate here. He continues to pound the strike zone in with the fastball here.
Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. A little defense from Hunter Renfroe. It's a great throwing arm out there in right field as well. Renfroe cuts this off and then throws out at second base. He's got a gun out there in right field.
That was a laser.
He's back in the second inning and gun down Matt Davidson at second. Batting here with Solarte at third, Hedges at first, nobody out in the seventh.
He's asking for the ball up.
And Renfroe hits it in the air to right field. Back goes Garcia onto the warning track at the wall. He leaps and that ball is gone into the bullpen. A 3-run home run for Hunter Renfroe, and the Padres take a 3-1 lead. One swing of the bat for Renfroe, his 6th home run of the year.
Don, we touched on it before this at bat. The walk in the second, getting knowledge and being able to see that release point. You see Hunter Renfroe making a commitment to going the other way and driving that baseball. A lot of power in that swing. We haven't seen the consistency with the 5 home runs coming all in April. That's a big homer.
Yeah, his first home run of May, and it is a 3-run shot to give the Padres the lead.
And more importantly, that backs Weaver, which I thought was huge coming into this inning. Throwing 6 solid innings and supporting that effort.
Now the base is empty thanks to Renfroe. Corey Spangenberg batting. And a smile for Jared Weaver, who now has a 3-1 lead and some offensive support after 6 very good innings today. Spangenberg today has fouled out, grounded out, 0 for 2. And a swing and a miss. This one gets away from Narvaez. Got to throw him out, and he does. So the strikeout put out goes 2-3, and that's the 4th strikeout for Quintana, who battles back here after allowing the 3-run home run.
Well, we touched on it, Don, earlier in the game with Quintana not gaining the run support for himself. He has been excellent today, other than that home run to Hunter Renfroe, but not getting the run support himself. Don Cooper on the right, Rick Renteria, the manager of the White Sox, on the left.
Luis Sardinez batting here with 1 down, bases empty in the 7th. To Renfroe with a 3-run shot here in the 7th inning. After walking a single, Solarte and Hedges setting the table for Renfroe's 3-run shot. Grounder foul outside the bag at third. Sardinia's down. Torrens next. Pitch 105. And a swing and a miss as he strikes out Sardinia's back-to-back strikeouts for Quintana.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 outs for Luis Torrens. 0 for 2 from the number 9 spot. The Padres order today. Their catcher is grounded out to short and struck out swinging. Now this next pitch will be a season high for Quintana. And it drops in there for a strike, evening the count at 1-1. Yuri Garcia, the center fielder for the White Sox, over towards right center. Gap out in left center for Torrens. And staying away is Quintana. They've had some definitive looks out there in the outfield.
Sure have. When you think about it too, Don, when you're shifted that far over, it puts so much pressure on the corner outfield. That left fielder has a lot of space to cover.
One hopper out towards the second baseman. Sanchez gloves and throws to first to end the inning, but the damage done. A walk and a single, followed by a 3-run home run by Hunter Renfroe, his first of May. Home run number 6 of the year has the Padres on top 3-1.
To all the mothers out there, especially mine and my wife, who's soon to be a mom.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my wife Jessica and my mom and mother-in-law. Hope you guys have a great day.
Hey Mom, Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Just want to wish you all the best, and Happy Mother's Day to all the other mothers out there too.
The Major League Baseball commemorates each Mother's Day with the Going to Bat Against Breast Cancer program, which was launched in 2006 to raise awareness and funds for research towards the fight against breast cancer. The Padres have taken a 3-1 lead on a 3-run home run by Hunter Renfroe. As 7th inning stretch taking place here in Chicago as we get ready for the last of the 7th inning, and Jared Weaver's outing is over. After 6 innings of work, the new pitcher is Kirby Yates.
You see the numbers on Kirby Yates. Good strikeouts with 9, only 2 walks. He's done a very good job against right-handed hitters.
A very impressive day today for Jared Weaver when he needed it the most in his 8th start for the Padres, coming up big, just giving up the 1 run in 6 innings.
I'll remember, and we said it in our game notes, that Weaver said he has to be better. You're your self-critic when you come down to playing, and he knew he wasn't pitching as well as he could. Well, this was a huge start for him, and continued to grind it out. And the offense supported him in that last half inning, which was nice.
Well, the bullpen's got to help out as Kirby Yates takes over, first out of the pen. And Tyler Saladino, the batter for the White Sox. He has flied out to left on 2 occasions, both times Matt Caesar making the catch. And at the lip of the grass at third is Spangenberg. Saladino can lay down the occasional bunt as he'll take a pitch outside, and it's 2-0. Yates has not allowed a run in his last 6 appearances. That's in 6 1/3 innings. And off waivers by the Padres from the Angels at the end of April. His longest outing is 2 innings. On the ground, foul outside of third, and that evens the count now at 2-2. Nothing in the strike zone so far for Kirby Yates, but staying away.
And he's been saying down in the strike zone. Not saying, but staying. Can't say a pitch. He's got to execute the pitch.
I think they're coming in. Up and away, and it's fouled off.
And mislocation poorly on that one. Pulled that on his glove side.
Swinging a miss, he struck him out. So Saladino, strikeout victim here for Kirby Yates, first out of the 7th inning.
Every Sunday home game at Petco Park, all active duty, reserve, veteran, dependent, and retired military and their families receive 50% off Padres tickets. Plus, they also receive 25% off tickets to all other games all season long. Info and tickets can be found at padres.com/military.
One down in the 7th, and it brings up Omar Narvaez. He has fly to left and walk so far in the day. Narvaez here batting with 1 down in the 7th. Notice where they put the Padres fans?
It's probably not in the packed house.
Oh, in the shadows. They're freezing.
Can someone let them borrow a blanket? Please.
It's like 2 different stadiums right now. There's a fly ball headed to left field. Incoming is Caesar. And he'll make the catch for the second out of the 7th inning. Part of the stadium in the shadows and cold. The other part in the sunshine and warm. Look at these people. Warm and
packed house on the third base side.
It's amazing. And the bleachers are filled up, left and right.
Well, they got sun all day long.
Two down for Willie Garcia. Garcia has flied out to left field and walked today. 2 plate appearances, all that against Jared Weaver. Weaver ended up throwing 89 pitches, including his season high. Second time he's done that. Swinging a foul tip at the dish. 1-1. And the line on Weaver today, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. That was back in the first inning. Walked 2, struck out 3.
Oh, gutty performance by Jared Weaver today.
On the ground left side, and it's short. It's Sardinez. The throw in time. Nice play by Sardinez. Down in order go the White Sox in the 7th. Padres lead it 3-1. As we play along here to the 8th inning, and a new pitcher on for the White Sox. Michael Inoue comes in, his second appearance of the series as he takes over for Jose Quintana and appears in his 11th game of the year.
Well, you see the right-hander's only hitting 143 average this season, so he has done a nice job with them. Also coming off 4 consecutive scoreless appearances. A nice job out of the bullpen.
And the bullpen as a whole has been terrific for the White Sox. They've had a 2.25 earned run average as a team. First pitch strike into Manuel Margot, leads it off here in the 8th inning. Bullpen has made 17 scoreless outings this season. More than a run, only 7 times on the year. Opponent's hitting at 187 against this pen as a hole.
Well, Rick Renteria has some weapons down there to go to.
Strike over the outside corner. Margot today's been aboard 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. There's 2 of the 5 Padre hits today.
Well, we know it has that low 3/4 delivery. Hard to pick up, but also has a really good curveball.
Swing and a miss, and that one was headed away. So Margot strikes out, first out of the inning. Talking a lot about Derek Jeter today, of course, and they brought up Aaron Judge. And is there a comparison, at least to Derek Jeter, as far as Aaron Judge goes early in his Yankees career?
Never like to be compared to people because I think you're your own person. So I would say let him be his own person. You know, you can have similarities, personality traits that are similar to other players, but I think, you know, let him be his own player, make him have his own identity. And look, we're completely different players. You know, I'm a little taller and bigger than he is, but we're completely different players. So I say just let him be Aaron Judge.
Should probably be around longer than 5 minutes before you're compared to Derek Jeter.
Longevity, obviously 20 seasons compared to that one, as Caesar ducks out of that. But Aaron Judge has done a very nice job with the adjustments in his first full season this year, hitting .316. Aaron Judge with 14 home runs. He hit his 14th today, which the Yankees are playing a doubleheader against the Houston Astros. Also 29 RBIs. Doing some damage.
Caesar fouls this off over by the White Sox dugout and behind it.
I think we hear the comparisons too much in the game of baseball, especially to your point. Let them play many years. You know, when you start talking about Mike Trout in the MVP race, and he might be the best player in the game of baseball, well, there's reason to say that. And then in the first year, let them settle in a little bit and do it with longevity.
You think about as far as tall shortstops go, you think of Cal Ripken kind of setting the way for the Jeters and the A-Rods of the world.
Definitely. And you think about that position, doesn't necessarily make you a good one when you're a tall guy like that.
Line to short, picked on the backhand by Saladino. 2 down in the inning. Sharply hit, but he was there to make the grab. 2 down. Caesar 0 for 4 today. And it brings up Will Myers, who struck out, walked, and grounded back to the mound. Tried to grab 2 bases on a base hit by Austin Hedges in the 4th inning, but was thrown out by Avisaíl Garcia, the right fielder, at third.
I didn't think it was a bad risk at the time, but maybe just the awareness it was going to go over Avisaíl Garcia in right field. But with 1 out, you want to press the action, especially with a 1-0, 1-0 lead by the Chicago White Sox. I like aggressive mistakes.
A little tardy on the cut there. 93-mile-an-hour fastball by him that time.
I think Andy Green would like to see that, as we see Ryan Buchter getting ready in the Padre bullpen. Being aggressive, but those educated aggressiveness on the base pass.
On the corner. And Myers kind of spins out of the box, down 1-2.
Well, the way Myers has been handling the fastball, you think that might be the last fastball he gets.
Right-handers just 4 for 30 against Myers, or rather against Inoa. There's the pitch outside. Jose Quintana, the starter today for the White Sox, departs on the hook. And he went 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Walked 4, struck out 5, and threw a season high 110 pitches. Myers will pop it up. The second baseman, Yolmer Sanchez, backpedaling to make the catch. No, he drops it. He was in trouble from Jump Street there as he was headed backward, just kept backpedaling and off his glove. It lands in center field.
Yeah, I agree with you too. When you're backpedaling, that's an uncomfortable feeling as an infielder. Wind blowing, he's calling it out, but he's hoping for help from the outfield.
Error charge to Sanchez. Allows Myers to reach and the inning to continue. Gives Yangervis Solarte a chance. He has flied out to center twice, walked and scored. Framed there by Narvaez, but called a ball. Alfonso Marquez had a pretty good strike zone today, as you mentioned.
He has. All you're looking for is consistency as a hitter.
A quiet series for Solarte, 0 for 9 in the series. There goes Myers at first. Pitch down and in, and the throw to second base is not in time. Stolen base for Will Myers.
Don picked out a perfect time to steal a base with a big leg kick. He pulls this on the inside part of the plate. Tough pitch to throw, and you see that left hand sliding into the back part of the base.
So into scoring position here with 2 down in the 8th inning. Padres looking to obtain some more insurance, and no one now calling his catcher out, wants to talk to him. They were kind of going back and forth as to what to throw.
Well, we touched on the numbers, especially against right-handers. Austin Hedges on the on-deck circle, the base open to Solarte. I wonder if they'll choose to pitch to him in this situation. This would be a big RBI for the Padre offense.
Solarte takes the strike, and it's 2-1. Fastball again. Noah struck out Margot. It's Caesar to line out to short, but the error by the second baseman Sanchez lets his inning continue. Myers steals second, and the 2-1 is away for ball 3. Because of the error, you know, has had to work a little harder here. He's up to 17 pitches in the inning. Holmberg up in the pen right now for the White Sox. Solarte fouls it straight back. Got the fastball, and he jumped on it, but he fouled it back.
Had a good pitch to hit. Look in the middle of the plate because of the movement by Ynoa. That was down and in a perfect zone for Solarte.
Left-handers only hitting .220 against him. His payoff pitch, and Solarte fouls it off to the left out of play. Harris looking for his first hit of the series. Now would be a good time as any. With a runner at second base, 2 down here in the 8th. Payoff pitch again, and Solarte fouls it off right at the plate. piece of the catcher Omar Narvaez.
He's shaking the cobwebs. Picks up speed as you foul that pitch off.
Payoff pitch. And Solarte lines it foul off the front of the Padres dugout. Off the fencing in front.
We've seen some Solarte struggles at times. Looks like he's getting outside the baseball. See that foul ball just battling with 2 strikes. And when Solarte's good, he stays inside the baseball, and you see that true flight to the baseball, especially from the left side.
Noah's had a tough time figuring out what he wants to throw here, and there have been a lot of conversations between him and his catcher, and they're back at it again. And what has been quite a battle here with Yangervis Solarte. Yori Garcia, center fielder, moved over towards right center. Big gap out there in left center for Solarte. Myers at second base, 2 down in the 8th inning. Myers takes off for third as Solarte swings and misses and strikes out. That ends the top of the 8th. Padres have a 3-1 lead. Brought to you by Petco, your complete pet store with all the services you need. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Back in the beautiful city of Chicago. Final game of this 3-game series. Padres will be back later in the summer to take on the Cubs. But here just one time to take on the White Sox. In interleague play that comes to a conclusion today for the Padres, before they head back home to take on the Milwaukee Brewers.
Speaking of the Cubs, they continue to struggle. They're losing 5-0 at St. Louis.
Well, Ryan Buchter into the game here, 16th appearance of the year. Comes on for the 8th. Kirby Yates had a nice 1-2-3 7th inning. And it also included a strikeout. Buchter dealing to the top of the order here. Larry Garcia leading it off. Sanchez, Jose Abreu, anybody gets on. Avisail Garcia will have a chance. To third, and Spangenberg, who's in on the grass, makes a good throw to first base for the first out of the 8th inning. Time now for the Carl's Jr. star of the game. Jared Weaver, the starting pitcher for the Padres today. 6 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run. Walked 2, struck out 3, and was able to induce not 1 but 2 double plays in the game, and both came at pretty key times.
Yeah, 6 ground outs, 6 fly balls as well for Weaver, but those big double plays, as you talked about, that was huge, especially the one in the first.
1 down for Yolmer Sanchez. A bunt single in the first, single to right in the third, and then fly down to center field in the 5th. And the walk-off base hit in last night's win for the White Sox. Snapped a 6-game losing streak here last night for Chicago. Five for 11 in the series. He's been hitting lower in the order, but moved up to the 2 spot here today. That's now 15 of 17 appearances that Ryan Buchter has not allowed a hit to the first batter that he's faced coming into a game.
Yeah, and this is going to be tough because Marquez has not been given that pitch inside.
Well, there's ball 4 and a 1-out walk. Yolmer Sanchez headed down to first base.
Why I say that is Ryan Buchter relies on that 4-seam fastball that has a little bit of cutting action to the right-handers.
The tying run at the plate and Jose Abreu. Get into the meat of this order for the White Sox. Abreu now, Avisail Garcia next. Pretty good 3-4 combination here in Chicago. And very tough to deal with. Abreu hit by a pitch in the first inning. Since then, a ground out to third, a strikeout, swinging. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Sanchez.
Even though Sanchez has good speed, I don't think this is a running situation. Especially the big boppers behind there. Down 2. Wow.
Buchter falling behind 2-0 and kind of peering into Alfonso Marquez. Let's see where this ended up.
Top corner of the strike zone, but that inside part he has not been calling all day.
Those are for the White Sox, who ended up with a win here last night. David Robertson starting to warm now in the Chicago pen. He came in the tie game to work the top of the 9th last night. Three and 0. Doing most of the talking here to Luis Torrens doing the catching today.
Yeah, 7 straight balls from Ryan Buchter.
First, and back to the bag is Sanchez. Outfield about straight away here on Abreu. 5 home runs on the year for the DH. And he takes a strike, 3-1. Like he was taken all the way right there. Josh Mauer getting ready in the pen. One out, one on. Abreu swings at the 3-1 and fouls it back to the right.
little tardy on that fastball.
Full count to Abreu, 1 out, Sanchez at first. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Battling here. Abreu fouling some pretty good pitches off.
Jose Abreu has bounced into 2 double plays. Be a huge one here.
Gets a sign, ready to go to work here. High ball, 40 walks in. Back-to-back walks allowed by Buchter. First Sanchez, now Abreu. And Torrens back out there to talk to him again as they get ready to deal with Avisail Garcia. Checking on Brandon Maurer right now is Darren Balsley out there in the pen. He's been warming rapid fire out there.
Well, we know the struggles for this White Sox offense has come against right-handers.
Avisail Garcia has grounded into a double play, reached on an error, and singled to left field. Buchter could use a ground ball right here. Swing and a miss. He was swinging for the downs right there, that 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, he loves that first pitch fastball, but that doesn't mean you can't throw it. Perfectly located fastball by Ryan Buchter.
Two on, 1 away, and an 0-1 coming up here to Garcia. Another good rip, and he's down 0-2.
They're going back in there.
Garcia fouls it off, getting a piece to stay alive. Fastball's been around 92 so far today for Buchter.
That second pitch was 89. You wonder if he cut it a little bit.
A spell of wildness, unusual for Buchter. But he walks Sanchez, he walks Abreu. 1 out in the inning. Ball and 2 strikes. Avisail Garcia now. Todd Frazier waiting on deck here for the White Sox. Frazier 1 for 3 on the day. Buchter backs off again. A long time in between pitches here, working very deliberately.
Yeah, the pace has slowed down. And that benefits the hitter, in my opinion.
One-two pitch. Swung on, grounded towards shortstop. Sardinez with a bobble, and everybody's going to be safe. He gets the ground ball. Sardinez with the miscue, and the bases are loaded.
Well, not a good time for an error. He gets that ground ball. Wondering if he was influenced by that base runner. But you have to get it out in that situation.
Bases filled now with White Sox with one down of the inning, and Todd Frazier coming up. Strike one, and Buchter starts off ahead. .257 hitter, does have 3 grand slams to his credit. 1 for 2 this year in that category. Sanchez at third, Abreu at second, Garcia at first, 1 out in the 8th. And that's in the dirt, but nicely blocked there by Torrens. Didn't get very far away from it. No chance for Yolmer Sanchez to try it from third base.
Todd Frazier has bounced into 3 double plays. His thought process right here is trying to elevate a baseball.
Just off the outside edge at 93, and it's 2-1. 21 pitches so far for Buchter here in relief, working in the last of the 8th inning with a 2-run lead. And the White Sox are making some noise. They've got the bases loaded on a walk, another walk, and an error. Three and 1, and no place to put Todd Frazier. An unusual outing here for Buchter, and that he's been all over the place here.
Not a typical outing is right. The command guy and Andy Green needs to make a pitch.
3-1. Outside ball, Forney walks in a run. From third base comes Sanchez, and Buchter's fired up, yelling in at Alfonso Marquez. Third walk of the inning allowed by Buchter. He's got to be careful here as Andy Green's coming out to get him anyway. But that is the third walk of the inning. It's a 1-run game now. The base is loaded, and it's going to be a tough situation. Brandon Bauer is making his way in. It's 3-2 Padres.
Let's go take a look at how Ryan Buchter went after Todd Frazier. First pitch fastball, and then he goes to the breaking ball to try to get that strike. And then again, the fastball on the outside part of the plate, working off the plate on both sides, and the command was not there for Ryan Buchter. 3 walks in the inning, and the bases loaded are for Brandon Maurer.
5 out of 6 in save opportunities. And coming in here looking for 5 outs, as it turns out, with the bases loaded. And 1 down. The infield is in. Not all the way in. About halfway here as Matt Davidson stands in. And a foul to the screen. Actually, Melky Cabrera pinch hitting here for Matt Davidson. There are 227, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. Davidson had been 1 for 3 in the ball game. On the ground and under the glove of Myers. 1 run is in. Here comes another run from second, Avisail Garcia, and the White Sox have taken the lead. Melky Cabrera with a pinch hit, 2-run single under the glove of Will Myers at first base, and the White Sox jump on top 4-3.
Well, it looked like a changeup out of Brandon Maurer's hands. Yes, it's down and very well located, but credit Cabrera smashing this past Will Myers for the 2 RBIs.
Todd Frazier ends up at third base. And Melky's got a smile on his face. He just put the White Sox on top. First and third now with 1 out, and it'll bring up Tyler Saladino. So far, a 3-run bottom of the 8th inning, and a little safety squeeze, but it's popped up to Myers, who makes the catch at first base. Out number 2 and trying to score, and scoring from third base is Frazier. Apparently time was not out. Myers thought he had time out, and racing in kind of on a delayed steal was Frazier. He gets in, and taking second is Cabrera. Catch the Padres napping right there, and another run, an insurance run for the White Sox.
Yeah, as an infielder, you catch this ball and you immediately try to call timeout. You see Will Myers not calling timeout, flips the ball back to Brandon Maurer, and the awareness of Todd Frazier. He goes back and tags, and then you can see taking that opportunity with the lead. Wow, smart play.
Not calling timeout, and Frazier, being very aware of the situation, just steals home. (5-3) White Sox. They're at second base.
But Don, the tough thing on that play, when you make that catch, yes, you check the runners, but you immediately try to look for an umpire to call timeout. You can't turn your back on the play.
Narvaez 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game. Ahead 2-0. Fouled off to the left, out of play. So 4 runs charged to Ryan Buchter in a third of an inning. Three of the 4 will be earned runs for Buchter in that third of an inning. They're mixed in there, and shortstop by Sardinez after the 2 walks in the inning. Strike call. Coming into the last of the 8th, the Padres had a 3-1 lead behind a very good pitching performance today by Jared Weaver. Now they trail 5-3. David Robertson, the closer for the White Sox, still getting ready in the pen. That's ball 4. Mauer misses, and down to first base goes Narvaez. That is the 4th walk allowed by the Padres in the inning. First by Mauer. Ninth member of the White Sox to bat here in the last of the 8th inning. It's Willie Garcia. And he'll take strike 1. Fly to left, walked, and grounded out to shortstop. Tap foul on the changeup that time, and it's 0-2. The White Sox with a dramatic walk-off win last night. We're coming from behind, and the last of the 8th in this game as Craig Stammen warms in the pen. Opposite field, base hit to right field. Cabrera being waved around. The throw from Renfroe is going to be cut off by Myers for some reason. They had a play at the plate. Myers cut it off. Another run for the White Sox on top 6-3. Not for sure what Will was thinking right there.
Well, watching Melky Cabrera around third base, he hesitated because of the arm of Hunter Renfroe. I don't think he saw the runner. Sometimes when you go to that cutoff, you peek over at third base. I thought they had a play on.
Oh, yes, they did. And here comes Andy Green to get Mauer. As the White Sox have grabbed a 6th run, they have scored 5 times in the inning. It's 6-3 Chicago pitching change. Down here in the last of the 8th inning, Craig Stammen trying to finish off this inning, and he comes into his 14th game of the year trying to quiet this White Sox offense that has exploded here in the bottom of the 8th.
Craig Stammen much better of late. He's made some good adjustments. He's done a nice job against righties. 234 average.
Gary Garcia led off this inning by grounding out to third base to Corey Spangenberg. Was the first batter that Ryan Buchter faced. Down the left field line, and that ball headed foul. So Buchter goes to third. He gives up 4 runs, 3 earned. Mauer a third. And so far been charged with 1 run. He's responsible for the 2 men on. RBS, who's at third base. Garcia, who's at first base. Mauer threw 12 pitches. He walked a batter. Padres have walked 4 in the inning. Down and in, 1-1.
That's not typical of this relief corps.
No.
They pound the strike zone, and today just a little bit off.
In the dirt, and Terren's able to block it. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th inning. Hedges, Renfroe, Spangenberg scheduled to bat in the inning. Two-one to Garcia. And he fights that off foul down towards the tarp area. 2-2. Stammen, the third arm used here in this 8th inning. 4 walks, an error. 2 hits in the inning. That's it. And 5 runs. This is lined towards the gap in right center field. That's going to get down, roll all the way to the track and the wall. Narvaez scores. Garcia trying to score all the way from first. He will. White Sox have taken an 8-3 lead, scoring 7 times so far here in the last of the 8th.
Now the nightmare inning continues. The slider down the zone. Seen Garcia have a very nice series. Unfortunately for the Padres, they'll continue to rack up the runs here in the 8th.
Those runs are charged to Mauer. In a third of an inning, he is charged with 3 runs. Wilmer Sanchez on a grounder back off Stammen up the middle into center field. Here comes another run. Larry Garcia is in, and it is 9-3 Chicago. Jose Abreu batting for the second time. He walked. Came around to score the 3rd run that tied the game. It was 3-1. Padres on top when this bottom of the 8th inning started. They now trail 9-3 with 2 down in the 8th. Swinging a foul, tipping it evens at 1-1. When
you think about Jared Weaver at this point, thinking about what he went through. 6 strong innings. Able to get his first opportunity for a nice win.
Fly ball foul off to the right.
It's unfortunate because you go back to Hunter Renfroe, who had his first home run in May. It gives him that opportunity for the win.
A 3-run shot at the top of the 7th inning. Padres on top 3-1 after not being able to score all day. Now the White Sox explode. 8 runs here in the 8th so far. That's down, and it's 2-2. Full count. That's coming in. Stammen has allowed a double and a single and a run of his own. That's ball 4. The 5th walk of the inning allowed by Padres pitching. And the inning continues. Ciel Garcia coming up next. He has reached twice on errors in this game. He's also singled and grounded into a double play. That's with Yolmer Sanchez at second, Jose Abreu at first. 2 down in the inning. Ball 1.
I know you touch on the walks too, but that error against Garcia in his last at bat by Luis Sardinas looms large in this big inning.
Yeah, loaded the bases with 1 out. Two and 0. On the corner that time, and it's 2-1. Stammen trying to finish off this long, painful inning for the Padres. Fouled off down the right field line, and it's 2-2. Terren's out to talk to Stammen.
Not too many fans down there, so it's going to be a scramble for that ball down the right field line.
They're all in left.
Yes.
Where the sun is.
They're trying to warm up. Let's see the little girl getting a baseball.
Chilly day in Chicago. The White Sox bats have gotten hot here in the inning. 2-2. Look out, and that hits him. This will load the bases.
Fastball up. Just catches him on that left forearm. Also catches Terren's on the ricochet.
Bases loaded again for the White Sox. Here's Todd Frazier. Look out, that one almost hit him. Two for 11 in the series. He has walked already in this inning. It's the 14th man to bat here in the inning for the White Sox. Fly ball, center field, hit well. Margot going back onto the track at the wall. He makes the catch. And it ends the inning. Frazier made a bid for a grand slam. As it is, they score 8 times in the inning. As a nice outing today for Jared Weaver, went 6 innings, giving up only 1 run. Pitched well enough certainly to get a win here today. He ended up striking out 3 and walking 2. Hunter Renfroe with a 3-run shot, put the Padres on top, 3-1 in the 7th inning. But then the wheels came off. Melky Cabrera pinch hitting with the bases loaded will drive in a pair to put the White Sox on top. That time 4-3. They would score 8 times in the inning. And the Padres trail in this game now by a score of 9-3. Holmberg, who had been warming up earlier, now in the game, his 4th appearance. They have the closer up, Robertson, but no reason for him to come into the game now.
First appearance in this series. He threw 2 scoreless innings in relief against the Minnesota Twins, the last series.
Noah becomes the pitcher of record as he went 1 inning. No hits, no runs. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 2 in relief of Jose Quintana, who had been on the hook and now not part of the decision. Austin Hedges, today's DH for the Padres, as the shadows start to make their way creeping up to the home plate area. The sunshine still covering the pitcher's mound. Popped up, foul ground. That'll get back into the seats.
You'd think the fans would start shifting down the left field line, third base side, maybe even the outfield, to continue that warmth. It's cold.
Some are ducking out with the 8-run bottom of the 8th inning. But yeah, that's where you're going to be if you're here at all, is in the sunshine. Today, Austin Hedges a 2-hit day. After fouling out in the 2nd, single to right in the 4th, single to right center in the 7th inning. Two and two. Normally sure-handed bullpen for the Padres. Not the case today.
Not the case today, too. It was home plate was moving on him a little bit today.
Hedges almost gets hit and a pitch down and in, and it's a full count now. Popped up, coming from everywhere in the infield. Look out, all the way from first base. There to make the play is Abreu.
He's got the biggest glove.
So one down here in the 9th inning. That brings up Hunter Renfroe. Padres are going to win this game after Renfroe hit a 3-run home run in the 7th inning to put him on top 3-1. Also walking in the game, so aboard twice. There he is with 1 out in the 9th inning. Seven innings from the starter, Jose Quintana. 5 hits, 3 runs. He walked 4, struck out 5. Not part of the decision. Came in at 2 and 5.
Well, his name is going to continue to come up in trade rumors, and today I don't think helped his case. He looked comfortable. Pitched very well.
Three and 0. Renfroe now. Spangenberg scheduled bat next, but he's not on deck. Actually, he is on deck. Here's Spangenberg in the shadows down there. That's ball 4, and with 1 out, Renfroe down to first base with a walk. Third time he's been on base today. Spangenberg coming up here. He has fouled out, grounded out, and struck out. 0 for 3 today. 0 for 8 in the series, and today getting the start at third base. We're having a tough time throwing strikes right now.
Had a lot of catchers meetings in the last few innings.
Tries a breaking ball, something different. He can't throw that for a strike either. And Don Cooper, the pitching coach, coming out here. Last thing they want to do with this big lead was to have him walk anybody. He walks a batter, and then now behind Spangenberg, 2-0. Just can't throw a strike.
Yeah, I don't think Don Cooper's going to come in and talk mechanics here. It's a team meeting on the mound.
Spangenberg ahead 2-0. 1 out, runner at first here in the 9th. They do not hold Renfroe on at first base. Abreu playing in behind him. There is a strike, and it's 2-1. And a mock cheer here in Chicago.
Don Cooper is brilliant. Goes out there for a meeting, and right after he throws a strike.
It's jammed and pops it up. Frazier into foul ground. Makes the catch for out number 2 of the 9th inning. The Padres down to their last out. That'll bring up Luis Sardinez. 0 for 3 today. He's lined out to left on 2 occasions and struck out swinging. Red Sox fans coming to their feet here with 2 down in the 9th inning. On the ground by the mound towards short, and Saladino's throw will be wild, but Abreu keeps the foot on the bag, and the ball game is over. 6-3 on the putout of Sardinez ends this game as the White Sox win the game and win the series. What's in store, Mike Pomeranz?